Guys, thank you so much for having me. This is just an honor to be here and speaking in front of you guys. And before I start, I want to thank NYC Hoop School, and especially Evan, for this. This means the world to me, and be able to travel and speak in the United States and be with you guys is just an absolute pleasure. So thank you for taking the time. As mentioned, my name is William Lowe. I'm from Hong Kong, and today I want to be talking about long-term planning for transferable development, which I understand it sounds absolutely boring, but I'll make it worth your while. So I don't want to spend too much time on this PowerPoint, just quickly on who I am. I am the founder of Strive Basketball and Performance in Hong Kong. So that's my business. We do mainly training from anyone from the youth, the grassroots, all the way up to former NBA guys getting ready to go into the CBA, the Chinese Basketball Association, so former NBA players. My wife and I, Angela, can you please stand up? We run a nonprofit organization to help talented, many times underprivileged girls from Hong Kong to utilize basketball as a vehicle to further their lives and further their education and be shining hope of what Asian women can be in international sports. And I'm very happy to have 3 of our girls here today, so thank you for supporting me here. I have 20 years of coaching experience when it comes to basketball training and strength and conditioning. If you had to ask me what my most proudest credential is on paper, it would be that I'm a fellow of applied functional sciences at the Gray Institute in Michigan, where you are required to fly 3 times in 1 year to a place called Adrian, Michigan. Has anybody ever heard of Adrian, Michigan? Yeah, I didn't either, before I had to fly 3 times in 1 year. And that took a year, but it was the best course I've ever taken. And I've been able to cross paths with some pretty cool people. So most recently, the 2024 gold medalist, fencer from Hong Kong. We were fortunate enough to get him ready for the 2021 Olympics in Tokyo, where he won the gold medal and the gold medal this year as well. So why did I choose this topic of planning and organization? Well, because of my sheer obsessiveness to get girls from my city and my country to the highest levels of the NCAA and beyond. Right, Yanni? So, for those of you who have ever studied Asian basketball, it's very, very popular. People there are very passionate about basketball, but we're still light years behind the United States, Canada, Europe, and Australia. And my goal and my mission is to really level the playing fields a little bit for our girls to be able to do that. And I say this to say that I needed to be able to take a sniper approach in 4 years. To be able to look at a girl, or a guy, look at a girl and say, what are the non-negotiables that I need them to have in order to play at the highest level in the United States? And so that brought me into planning and organization. The next one is a very sad story where one of our girls tore her ACL 2 times in 2 years. Now, as a strength and conditioning coach, I had to take a long, hard look in the mirror and ask myself, what am I doing wrong? And that was not easy for me. And so I went back to the drawing board and I had to ask myself the following questions. How do I maximize my time so I get the highest return of investment for every minute that I spend on the court with my athletes? How do I reduce the chances of injury for every player that steps on the court with me? How do we do that? Is more always better, right? We have this mentality of Instagram where you see awesome people getting up at 4 a.m. and hitting the gym and all that kind of stuff, and that's inspirational. That's inspirational. But is that truly the best way to get the best results? Last but not least is it possible to get better results by working less? And the answer is unequivocally yes. And I'm about to share that with you today. And on my quest to finding this answer, it drove me into reading numerous science books on skill acquisition and motor learning, reading numerous research papers from all over the world, and making phone calls to places like Russia, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Spain to find out what they are doing around the world. And this inevitably led me to European soccer, where I learned about a term called tactical periodization. And I'm about to explain what that means to you guys in a little bit. But these 2 gentlemen are heroes of mine. The first one on the top right is Dr. Professor Victor Fraud, who came up with the concept of tactical periodization. He is the one who came up with all this. I'm about to explain what that means. And then the second one, does anybody know who this second person is, by the way? Yes. Jose Mourinho. Where does he coach? Yeah, okay. Give my man a hand. That's impressive. Good. But he's one of the most winningest coaches in all of European football history. And he's the one who really popularized the term tactical periodization. So tactical periodization, to put it in a very simple way, is a methodology that splits athletic training, in our case, basketball practice, strength and conditioning, into cycles where the athletes can, number one, learn optimally. Number two, they can always be in top condition for the most part. Number three, it reduces their chances of injury. So when I came up, and it goes a lot further into sports psychology and all that kind of stuff, but when I heard about this, it just baffled me, and I had to make phone calls to Portugal and all that kind of stuff, and didn't really speak English, and they didn't speak Chinese either, so, but anyway, we made it work. And it basically says this, that everything that happens in organized basketball comes down to tactics first. Everything that happens on the court is based on tactics. Then, this next part, which is just as important as anything else, is the principle of specificity. This is the content of a practical session should represent the game model or our style of play. So tactics, for the most part, is context. It is the why. It is the what in what we do. We can't just go onto the basketball court and start a training session without knowing why we're doing that thing, okay? And it all comes down to tactics to begin with. So my goal here, I'm not sure how much time I have left on the clock for the practical part, but is to take a 30,000 foot bird's eye view onto either a high school career, 4 years, or a season, 1 year, and to ask yourself the following questions as coaches. And I believe as coaches, it's very, very important to sit down by yourself and answer these questions. Why am I doing this practice today? So if I'm going to go up to Europe, if I'm going to go up to coach and stop practice all of a sudden and be like, why are you doing this today? You should be able to give me a solid reason of what you're working on, which is specific and has a long-term plan to it, that was based off of something that maybe programmed weeks ago, week ago, months ago, and there has to be a reason for that. What is your philosophy as a coach? How should your team play? How much time do you have with your team? Do you have an Asian model? Do you have a European model? Do you have an American AAU model or a school coach? How much time do you have in your team? Very important question is, what skills, concepts, and decision-making abilities do you believe that each and every one of your players has to have before they leave you? Whether that's in 4 years, whether that's in 1 year. What are the decision-making abilities that they need to have? What are your non-negotiables as a coach? How much experience does your team have? How long have they played together, and how long is your season? This is going to be different for every single person. And when I think of this, I think of the scene in Alice in Wonderland. I'm going to butcher this scene, so I apologize. Where Alice doesn't know where to go, and she bumps into this cherished cat. I had to do some research on what this animal was called. It's called cherished cat. And she goes and asks the cherished cat, I was wondering which way I should go. And then the cherished cat replies, well, where do you want to go? And her reply is, well, it really doesn't matter. Then the cherished cat says, well, it really doesn't matter which way you want to go. And I say that to say this, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, clarity is everything. And the lack of clarity does not allow you to set yourself up for success later on or in the short term. We need to be crystal clear of what our goals are in order to be able to reach these, to reach success. So like I said before, for the coaches, what is your team going to look like? What kind of defense do you guys play? Are you full court pickup team, run and jump team? Are you a zone defense team? What does it look like, right? There's no right or wrong here. What kind of offense do you run? Are you ball screen heavy? Are you motion? You love pin downs? Like, what does it look like? Crystal clear. Are you transition heavy? Are you a set-based team that wants everything in the half court? No right or wrong, just need to be clear and be true to your philosophy of this. Okay, very important because I know there's a lot of trainers in here. Players and trainers, what does your workouts look like? What is your role on the team as a player? I mean, really, what is your role on the team? Not what you wish it was. What is your actual role on the team? And once you can find this out, right, you're crystal clear. If you are unclear of that, go have a transparent conversation with your head coach. he'll be the most clear of what your role is. And I'm not saying that this is wrong, but with this day and age and social media and looking cool on Instagram, everybody wants to be John Moran. Everybody wants to be those guys. But the fact of the matter is that actually your role on the team? And if it's not, you have to rethink that, right? How are you going to maximize your strengths? And this is my philosophy on a player's evolution. Player's evolution never was that he made his weaknesses so good that it became his strengths. And my philosophy is that you maximized your strengths, no matter what it was, right? You maximize them. And those strengths open different doors for you. So say, for example, you're a knockdown corner shooter, right? You're a knockdown corner shooter. Well, then they're gonna have to curry closeout on you and fly. Well, that's gonna give you opportunity to drive in the lane, get paint touches, and before you know it, your role is going to expand and you can do one thing very, very well. What type of shots are you getting in the game? Can I see a show of hands of players here? Show of hands of players. What type of shots are you getting? Can I ask, out of all the players, how many of you guys actually chart your shots? Kind of like 2. Okay, chart your shots. And I'm going to tell you what that means in a second. And what phase of the game are you actually getting those shots in? We talked about the law, the principle of specificity. This is how specific I want you to be. Now I'm going to ask you another question. You guys, right? You chart your shots? Do you chart them in practice? Excellent. So do you chart them so you can tell me what you shot from different spots during the year? You can, your overall percentage, but you're not tracking where you're shooting. Yeah, are you tracking where you're shooting them from? Okay, really cool. That's really, for the most part, right? Yep. That's really good. That's really good. I'm happy for you. Do you also track what phase of the game you get them in? So what I mean by that is, do you know whether they're in transition or half court, and do you know the ratio of those? Right. That's great. So that would be more specificity. Does that make sense? So I want to be crystal clear on the type of shot that you're getting, so that when we go into the skill development, you know where you're getting those shots from. I'm not saying that you don't shoot from anywhere else, but you know where your shots are coming from, right? And this was this chart was introduced to me by Coach Brian McCormick, who is a resource that I recommend to everybody. He's one of the OGs when it comes to small-sided games and constraints-led approach. Highly recommend that you guys do this. So I mentioned before the phases of basketball. This is nothing new. Everybody knows about this, but when it comes to specificity, this is paramount. So I can start basically anywhere. I want to start from half-court defense. We're going to play half-court defense. When I'm playing half-court defense, there's only a couple of possibilities that are going to happen in half-court defense. I'm going to get a stop, you're going to score, or you're going to get a turnover, and then all of a sudden, it turns into transition offense. In transition offense, if we do not score there, right, hopefully it then turns into half-court offense if we don't turn the ball over. From half-court offense, it then turns into transition defense, and basketball, to make it simple, is basically a cycle of these 4 phases. So when we talk about long-term development and planning, you need to be crystal clear on what phase you are actually working on. Because again, this principle of specificity says the more specific we can make our content, the more it's going to transfer into the game. So going back to our periodization or our planning, it's basically divided into 3 different cycles, and don't really worry about the names. But one is the macro, which is the long-term cycle. It's anywhere between 1 to 4 years. So that could be a season, or as I mentioned before, it could be a high school or a college career. And as I mentioned before, what are the crucial things that the player needs by year 4? This is your philosophy. You're picturing this freshman coming in. Where do they need to be when they leave you here? Where do they need to be at the end of their freshman year? What should that look like? Mesocycle. Basically, let's just call that a medium-term cycle. That is several weeks or months of training. We're going to be dividing this training week by week or month to month. How are we going to undulate or fluctuate the training practices so that the players can retain the concepts that we're teaching, but at the same time get adequate rest, right? When I told you that my player tore her ACL 2 times in 2 years, right? There was something wrong in that case. I'm not going to say that was all our fault, but she, at the same time, just a quick deviation. In Hong Kong, we have what's equivalent to AAU and school practice year-round. That's the shortcoming of Hong Kong, right? So that they need to play AAU and school from January to December. Whereas the States is a little bit easier, it's more clear-cut. Fall is going to be what AAU, right? or like spring, AAU. Winter's no doubt school, then spring and summer is AAU. It's very, very clear, right? The school coach is not going to come and really intervene with that when that happens. Sorry, for just a quick side note so that you know cultural differences. Microcycle is a week of training or a single practice session. Is this session going to be a high learning day or a high volume day? That's what you have to really ask yourself. We're going to go through the definitions of that later. This is very important because I love to listen to basketball podcasts, and I love to hear players' perspective on workload management. So load management and all this. It's very interesting to hear the different perspectives. But without a doubt, there's an inverse relationship between volume and intensity. And my definition of intensity is a little bit different from everybody else. When we think of intensity, you think of players hunched over, breathing hard. That's not what I define as intensity. What I define as intensity, maybe this is just me, is it's high learning day, high cognitive day. They're processing new information. These are very important days because during those times, I think Jurek said something like the 3-10-30 rule. You never give them more than 3 key points. Now, from a large perspective, I'm teaching them cutting or moving without the ball. I don't teach any more than 1 to 2 key concepts during that practice. And we're going to hone in on that, and we're going to dial in and really just get 1 to 2 things right. So, I'm sorry about that. Where is their working memory at that time? Working memory is, I'm sitting here, hopefully not boring you guys, and you're paying attention to me. So you're learning, hopefully, new stuff. Your working memory is a jug of water. The content that I'm giving you is the water. And everybody does this processes and absorbs information differently. So if I'm teaching you something completely new, I may be overflowing your jug immediately. So this is where the art of coaching really comes into play, because I need to look at an athlete and say, okay, he's had about enough for today when it comes to learning new stuff. This is where the art of coaching really comes in. And managing fatigue wisely in order for them to learn. Nobody learns well when they're fatigued. So I'm not going to run them a whole lot in the beginning and then expect them to learn new stuff. It just doesn't work like that. So we have to understand that everything that I want them to learn must be put at the beginning of the session. I tell my assistant coach, 45 minutes on the clock. 45-minute goes, and I have about 45 minutes to teach them whatever I feel like is important for that day. So this is very, very important. And yeah, the majority of learning should be done at the beginning. Now, volume, think of it as quantity. It's more full court work. There's less stopping and starting. It's physically more exerting because it's closer to the game. They're getting up and down. They're getting up and down, up and down. And I may not be stopping and starting it as much as Jurek mentioned. I would try to have them self-discover a lot. And if it is that they're making the same mistake over and over again, then I may intervene and ask some questions and to help them guide them on the right direction. So that's that. High volume. The majority of practice will be 5-on-5. 95% of the practice will be at full court base. Less stopping and starting, and the transitions, the phases that I'm usually working on here is transition offense and transition defense. High intensity days, very cognitively taxing. High learning of new concepts, only focusing on a few key concepts, a little bit more stopping and starting. The way that I do that may be a little bit different. And the way that I do that may not be to blow the whistle and stop them playing every single time. I may be like, okay, we're going to do this, and we're going to do 1 possession. And then I coach after that possession. Another possession. I coach after the possession. Okay, they're getting it. Like, we're going to go up, down, and back. I coach. So there's less stopping and starting unless I'm seeing that they're really struggling with this. For me, for the most part, these days are usually based into your half-court offense and half-court defense days. So, but at the same time, these phases, it could be really any phase, half-court or full-court. So when it comes to transferability of skill and concepts, I've tried to break it down into a checklist where coaches can go, okay, I have this drill in mind. How do I know if there's transference to the game? Well, you don't, but this list used to be 15 deep, now it's only 5. So the number one question you ask yourself is, what is the purpose of the drill? Second thing that you ask yourself is, what phase of the game does this drill really fit in? Okay, you have to be able to answer those questions. Next is, does this drill incorporate decision making, randomness, and reaction? Is there at least one other participant that is involved in this drill, or is it one on one? And again, the more you can involve more participants, especially when it comes to small-sided games, the more transferable it will be into the game. Are 80% of my shots that I practice in the areas and phases that I would shoot in the game? Last but not least, Jurek talked about constraints, so I'm not going to talk about that too much. But what constraints am I using to emphasize this certain skill? Is it dribble limitations? Is it space limitations? Is it time limitations? How am I using constraints to really hone in on the things that I'm trying to emphasize? Last but not least, has anybody ever heard of an author called Doug Lemov? Doug Lemov. Okay, for all the coaches out there, if I could go back 20 years ago and pick one book to start with, it would be Doug Lemov's The Coach's Guide to Teaching. I believe that was, like for me, a coach career-changing book. But I'm going to only pick one part of this. So this is called the forgetting curve, and this is how learning actually happens. On this pink line is the first exposure to a skill. So I'm about to have some participants here. This is going to be the first exposure that they have to the drills possibly that I'm coaching. So by the end of this, they will remember 100%. By day 1, so 24 hours of not having that, it's a little bit under 60% already. By day 2, right? By day 2, it is under 40%, and by day 3, they've forgotten almost everything. And forgetting isn't the problem, because learning requires you to forget something and then relearn. So the pink line is the first exposure. As you can see, the second green line is the second exposure, but just a day later. Let's say after that, they remember around 70%, significantly better than the first. Then we go to the third exposure. By the next day, they still remember 80%. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is more for the coaches, is there's a term called interleaving, which means that I purposely want them to forget. But the trick and the art, well, really the science of coaching really is, how do I reintroduce something right before they're going to forget it? Because that's how you solidify skill. Okay? So this chart, I hope that you feel like this is something that really changed everything for me and how I look at different things. But the forgetting curve is paramount. So we're going to go through an example for our team, I think this was a while back, on how we structure a week. So we go high-low in terms of high volume, high intensity, right? High volume, high intensity. So for our high volume, we're doing a little bit less tactics. Just me as a coach, I personally believe that every single practice, we're going to do an element of skill work, okay, of what you guys would consider skill work. So for the high volume, we're going to work on our transition into our flow offense, right? More getting into our flow offense. We're going to look at press breaking. We're going to look at defense and the toughness factor, which I actually love how tough American players are. I take that because on the other side of the world in Asia, we need a lot of that. I also program on the high volume days. We do an hour and 20 minutes of full court work, and then the last 40 minutes are technical work, where every single time we have high shooting, it's transition based. I believe at least the level that I work at, which is high school, everybody works on a weekend every day. And then an element of finishing. Then low volume is highly tactical. It's mainly half court. Flow concepts, we're going to work on our half-court defense. We have a little bit of zone, and then we have mainly man. But there's an hour and 10 minutes of just those concepts that we're going to really dial in without getting them too fatigued. The last about an hour, we're going to go high shooting. We're going to go weekend, pivoting, and more footwork stuff. Then, depending on whether we have a game, this will be either shorter or, it'll be way shorter. And then we have off, and then the cycle begins again. So that's how we structure a week. I didn't want to go too much and be like a month or a year, but this is how we structure a week. And then our physical days, which are strength and conditioning days, we would put pretty much on the weekends to make sure that they get that in as well. This is more the practical side because I didn't want to bore anybody with just a PowerPoint presentation, but this is what I'm going to be demonstrating. Is there any questions about this? Okay, yes. I like 2 hours. If I could, I'd cut it even shorter, if I could. Yeah, but then it depends what's happening the next day. If it's like a game, then it might be even shorter. Yeah.
When you say you prefer to teach the kids before they get exhausted, are you trying to do that in warm-up when it's warming up?
So it would usually be after the warm-up. So I'm gonna, like, our practical is gonna be very, very general. So we're gonna do some of the stuff that we do warming up, but I want them to be what we call neurally activated. I want their nervous system to be awake. I want them to feel like they're ready to learn and absorb. And then we go into the important stuff that we're trying to emphasize for the day, because I don't want them to be too tired when they're trying to learn new stuff. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question, and it happens all the time, more than you would think, because sometimes you look awful in something. And this is not something where it's set in stone for the year. You just have the broad strokes of what you want to kind of reverse engineer where you want to look like by the end of the season or end of year one. But then that's really the art of coaching, where you need to decide how to adjust everything. And you can ask Yurik, because Yurik talks so much about variability. For us, true skill is adaptation. True skill is your ability not to do something so it looks good. True skill is being able to adapt to whatever environment you are put under, whether it be a gym or whether it be by the competition, and still get the same result. Yes?
How does your week change based on, let's say, like multiple games?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for that, I'm going to just make this up and say we have a game on Wednesday and Friday. Right? So I like them to have the day off after that. Well, if it's a Wednesday and Friday game, then I'll make that next day shorter. Very low volume, because they're not going to be running very much, but we're going to be doing tactical stuff. So a lot of stuff in the half court. For the most part, I don't like to lower the intensity of practice. I feel like it's just a waste of time. I always want to go hard, but we just go shorter. We just always go short. I find when you like do walkthroughs and stuff like that, unless it's directly before the game, that's a different thing. Why don't you just go shorter in terms of like that? That's just my philosophy. We good? Anybody? Okay, well, if you think of something afterwards, I'm happy to answer any questions. Hopefully I was able to add value to you guys and how you look at a season and planning, because this really changed my life. It really changed in terms of how well our athletes learn, how fast they are able to learn things, just as importantly, to hopefully be able to reduce injuries so you guys can play the sport that you guys love so much. Guys, thank you so much. We'll go into the practical side. Hopefully when you come onto my court, you love the game even more. That's very, very important to me. Will. Nice to meet you. Will. Nice, Adam. Will. AB. Nice. Will. Will. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay, so give these guys a hand and we're going to work them decently hard. So the first thing, no ball. I've had 2 ankle surgeries in my life. No one wants to have that happen to them. So the first thing we're going to do, we don't even need a ball. We're going to go into some ankle stability work. So again, I am a strength and conditioning coach as well as a basketball coach. So we're gonna come here together. Sorry, give your name one more time. Dave. Me and Dave are going to do this drill together. So Dave, you're going to face me real quick. Dave, you're going to hop on your left foot. Dave, your hands are going to be here. Dave, push my hand. Yeah. And we're just going to be battling it out. And whoever gets both feet on the floor first loses. Does that make sense? So the little bit of ankle stability work, I want your ankles there, but at the same time, a little bit of competitive fun, okay? Here we go, partner up with each other. Come on, Dave, show them what's up. All right, here we go. More space, gentlemen. Gentlemen, more space, more space. So this is part of our physical preparation work that we do with each other. Are we good? Left foot, okay? I can even fake you, and I want this to be competitive. Go, 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 go. Come on, I need a winner and a loser. I need a winner and a loser. Switch feet, 3, 2, 1, go. Go, go, go. Oh, these guys are too nice to each other. Come on, man. Oh, this ain't okay. All right, so that's a little bit about what, how we start off with our ankle stability stuff. Real quick, can I have you guys right here, one here, okay? Same concept. I'm gonna just make this up. You guys just on this line, who cares? Yep, just facing each other. One person on the side, one person on the side. So now we're gonna move in what's called the frontal plane, which is side to side. So we're gonna do a mirror drill, okay? You're gonna follow Dave. I'm Dave, I'm you, real quick. Hop on your left foot. And I can only go from this line to that line. And I can only go side to side. Ready? Sorry about the mic. Ready? Left foot. 6 seconds. Go. 2, 3, 4. Get this. Switch. Switch. Go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Switch player. Switch foot. Go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Switch player. Go. Switch player. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So rather than just ankle balance things, all that kind of stuff, which is great, I do that, right? I want them to have a reaction component to it. I want there to be a little bit of competition. I want there to be a little bit of trash talking. I want there to be all that kind of stuff so that we're primed for the game. Okay, next thing is we are gonna go, okay, I may not do this on the court, shoulder stability. Does anybody have shoulder problems here? You do? All right, okay. So you might hang out, if you have shoulder problems, hang out over there. Your name one more time? AB. Me and AB are gonna get into a bear crawl position. Okay, shoulder stability. We're gonna get into a bear crawl position just like this. And now, I'm moving, and our knees are off the floor. Go ahead, knees off the floor. I'm trying to pull you so that you drop to your knees. Does that make sense? Okay, here we go. So this is how we warm up. This is our stretching. It's a little bit different from everybody else, but I wanna make it competitive. Let's just say you guys go in the middle. Ready? No shoulder issues, right? Go, go. Pull him to the floor, come on. 4, 3, 2, 1, and good work. Okay, so again, we may not do this on the court in front of everybody, but does it get you warm? Yeah, right? And is it competitive? Right, we're ready to go, right? Okay, so then the next thing, again, we may not be doing this in front of everybody, but Evan talked about physicality and toughness. You guys can join again. Okay, me and Dave are gonna go here. Dave, your shoulders are gonna go, your hands are gonna go on my shoulders. Yep. My hands are gonna go on your shoulders, and we're just shoving back and forth. Let's just say that if Dave, you push him past that line, so you have to be at least side to side with him. You can't just be like American football, right? So, come and get the ball. Go, get it. Like, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Is that no, it's okay. Does that make sense? Make sense? Only one person is going at a time. Only one person is going. Ready? Go! 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. He's cheating, man. He's cheating. I know. Yeah. Okay. Next. You guys do it at the same time. Same time. Yep. Same time. AB, you don't let him get the ball. Go. 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Okay. So as long as nobody gets hurt, oh, you want to go for it? All right. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and awesome work. Great work. Okay, now, so we've talked about working in forward and back motions, side to side motions. We're only gonna do this one time. Now, what's very important, because I'm obsessed with this, my players are not getting ankle injuries. I've had too many surgeries, you guys are not gonna be in the same boat as me. And it shows, just a side note, that if you have knee problems, it's most likely related to hip or ankle issues, right? The knee is a rather simple joint, but the body works in a chain reaction. It's usually to do with the ankle or the hip. So we don't want to have that. So I'm only going to get one group. Now, this is what we call our circle tag. So we're going to be running in a circle. This is my best version of a circle with yes, please. Okay. Yep. And so you are it. No, Dave is it. Dave is it. You're here. You have to run around the circle. So you're running in a curve. He's chasing you. Okay? With the ball. Yes, sir. With the ball. Ready? 5 seconds. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can be a little bit more savvy with how we chase him. Don't you agree? Okay? Can I get the next group? Now, remember, the person who is catching has the ball. The person who is catching. So you have to catch it. Yep. Okay, yep. Ready? Go. 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe I wasn't specific enough. You can change directions. You can chase it and then come back this way. AB, let's go. Next. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Yes. Good. See, that's what it's supposed to look like. Great work. Okay, good. Now, give me the ball. Now both of you guys have balls. Okay? Now I'm going to tweak it a little bit. I want you guys to commit. No, both of you have ball. Who's catching who? I don't know. You guys decide. Who's catching who? You catch, okay. So now, every time I blow the whistle, the roles change. Make sense? Okay, ready? Keep going. Okay, good. So right away, I want there to be a reaction, decision-making part, but I also want anatomically for them to be warmed up in 3 planes of motion, having acceleration, deceleration, and all that kind of stuff. So again, not your typical stretch, I know, but just bear with me here because it really has shown us a lot of benefits. Okay, so then the next thing, next form of tag and ball handling. So I like tag with ball handling, but then I like an element of communication as well. Can everybody get a ball, please? Everybody get a ball? Dave, can I have you here, please? Okay. Can I have you catch Dave? And everybody is on an elbow or a block. Okay? Everybody on a block. Okay. Yeah, you got, so right here, I'm on the elbow. You're catching him. Okay? So you're gonna start here. Dave, you have to start from the corner, so you give him a little bit of space. Your goal, Dave, is to handle the ball all the way diagonally to that corner. You understand, right? So your job is to get to that corner.
Do I use them as cones?
Well, give me a second. So it's 1 on 5. Now, if he is to shake you up, you have to communicate to one of these guys and say switch. Whoever is closest, who would it be here? I think it's AB, right? Yep. You switch, you would go there. The whole time while that is going on, you can work on whatever stationary ball handling drill that you want. So rather than having time where the athletes just go like this, I plug the stationary ball handling into these drills so we can get it as a byproduct and not have to waste time on that kind of stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Does that make sense? Okay, now, communication is huge on our team. How are you guys going to rotate so whether you catch him, if you catch him, it's over, but then who is catching and then who is tagging and who goes where? I'm going to let you do that. No, so you're gonna, everybody's dribble. You have to dribble while you're trying to catch him.
Go that way.
That's that way, but he's not gonna let you go that way, right? So you might have to come here and then there, and then, you know what I mean? Yes, just tag him, But then what I'm asking you guys, how are we gonna rotate so that we don't waste time? Talk. How are we gonna rotate, guys? Up to you. Does everybody understand how we're rotating? So, quick note. This may seem like a waste of time, but I used to come up with a practice plan with the perfect rotation so that we wasted no second. But then, what was I taking away from them? Exactly. I was taking away communication. And even though that I might have to spend an extra second, do I get you guys to do that? Exactly. Okay? Here we go. Does it make sense? Get him. Okay, next, rotate. Who's up? Who's up here? Who's up? Come on. Back off a little bit, back off a little bit. Yep. Okay. Go. Next. We gotta be a little bit more savvy. Come on. Let's give him a little bit more room. AB, give him a little bit more room. Maybe over here. Go. Yeah, keep going. AB, say switch. Okay, cool. Yep, one more. I want to give him a little bit of an advantage. So, here, let me do this. I'm gonna give him a little bit of an advantage. Next person come up. Okay, who's catching him? Anybody, it doesn't matter. Dribble here. When I put one hand out here, you have to touch my hand before you tag him. So if I go like this, you have to give me a high five. And then it's like, so you have an advantage. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, ready? Go, dribble, go, switch. Good. Okay, so that's more what it looks like. So the reason I love these, done, gentlemen, done. The reason I love these is because these drills, to me, are true ball handling drills. Similar to what Uric did, right? I never have to tell a player, look up when you drill. It's naturally going to happen. The drill naturally does that. And so you see certain situations when he goes over there and this person hedges out, he loses the ball in his left hand. So I would take a mental note of that, right? In terms of what he needs in his program. So next one. Okay, we're going to go into a little shooting. I just need 2 people for this quick demonstration. Anybody. Yep. Okay, the next drill, we're going to demonstrate. Just 2 people. Cool. You guys take a break. Yeah. One ball. Yeah, just say you two. Everybody else off. This is called ladder shooting. Okay, AB, you get 5 shots. I'm going to rebound for him first, and then you rebound for him, okay? Floater. Come in and floater. Yep. Now, AB, then go next 3 shots are going to be at the FIBA 3-point line. Okay, so that's around here. Okay, so go out there. So your first shot is a floater. A Curry sidestep 1 dribble shot. Go. Sidestep 1 dribble. Yep, good. Okay, nice. And then the next shot, catch and shoot. Okay, sidestep the other way. Yep. Okay, cool. And then AB, give me a floater. Right here, same thing. Float. Good. Okay, so this is a concept called repetition. Yeah, give him a hand. This is a concept called repetition without repetition, where we can get high volume shots, but no shot is ever the same. Okay, so this is how we warm up. Can you rebound for him? Now, you guys are just gonna go 2 minutes, or let's say even 30 seconds. You will keep count for him. Every floater is 1 point, every 3-point shot is 2 points, okay? Every time he shoots, you cannot let the ball, you're a rebounder, you cannot let the ball touch the floor. If the ball touches the floor, he goes back to 0. So at the same time, just by giving them that, I've given you pressure to chase the ball. Go! Don't let the ball touch the floor, it's 1. Yeah, good. So what would have been a very mundane drill has now turned into a very high intensity drill because they don't want to let each other down. Good. Switch it up. Next person. Yeah, you go. Go. Float. Go. And then we would repeat this about 1 minute each. So you would keep going. Don't let it touch the floor. 0. Keep going. Okay, now float. Good, float. I think it's okay. Okay, that's fine. Good. Float. And then since you still have more than a minute, you would then go to a different angle. Does that make sense? You would go to a different angle. Okay, next drill. I'm sorry I'm going so fast with this, but I want to make sure that I give you as much as possible. So the next thing is what I call jungle shooting. I got this from Sefu Bernard, who is now at Washington Mystics. He's at the Washington Mystics. 5 players come out, 2 balls. Ball. Okay? 1 ball here, 1 ball here. Okay? Can I have wing, top of the key, wing. Quick. Okay. Someone needs to be at Dave, top of the key. Defense has the ball. You can only shoot 3s to score. Only shoot 3s. Pass, close out just like Evan taught, good. Now, you have to make a decision in 0.5 seconds. You cannot pass it. It's to either drive it or shoot it. Yup. Now, if you don't shoot it, then you drive it, and now you will stay with him until he passes the ball. So let's say you have an open man there, pass, You are now on offense, you go and close the ball out. If you have enough space, you shoot. If you shoot it, you go and get your own rebound, you are now on offense.
And he can't take a layup.
I'm sorry?
I can't take that layup.
He can't, there's no layups. So this is a communication drill, this is a closeout drill, and this is a decision-making drill in 0.5 seconds. And another name for this drill is chaos shooting, because it's gonna look really bad in a second. Ready? Go! Yeah, you too, at the same time. Good, names, go, 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 go. Keep going, get your rebound, get your own rebound. Good, get your own rebound, get your own rebound, get your own rebound. So if you drive, don't, yeah, go, yeah. Don't let him shoot, yeah. Stay with him, yep. Good, nice guys. Names, close out, good. Nice, names, that's you have to get out. You have to get out, go. Okay, but as you can see, we are working on a whole lot in a very short period of time. This is what we want. And they're not gonna pick it up in one go, right? They're not gonna pick it up in one go. But to me, this is a high energy drill because we're working on concepts, we're working on closeouts, we're working on making decision making in 0.5 seconds. Most of all, we're working on communication, right? Which I feel like every single coach wants from their team. Okay, so now, the next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna skip a few things, is we're gonna go what we call gladiator drill. So, I need 3 players. 1, 2, and 3. AB, get a ball, you guys rest. Dave, you're gonna start here. You are gonna guard Dave while dribbling a basketball. You are also dribbling a basketball. So we are making this very easy for Dave to score. Now, back up just a little bit, give him a little space. Dave, I'm gonna give him a couple constraints. Dave, you have to get a layup in 3 dribbles. If you change directions, Dave, it can only be through a behind the back or between the legs. Clear? You have, it's hard, like who plays defense dribbling? AB, underneath the free throw line. If and when Dave passes the free throw line, you have to communicate, Adam, and say switch. Okay. And then I'll do this rotation. Adam, you then go up there. AB, you'll go here. Dave, you'll be down there. Go, 3 dribbles. 1, 2, 3, okay, all right. Switch. Rotate up, Adam, you're on offense. Let's say 4 dribbles, gentlemen. So this is by doing a constraint with dribble limitations. Go, just keep going, go. Is one of the best ways to teach players how not to waste their dribble. There's so much fluff that just goes on stationary. Keep going, guys, keep going. There's so much stuff that happens just stationary and they go absolutely nowhere. We need 1 guy here. 2, 3. Okay, sorry, guys. We have to get into the paint and score through a layup. Keep going. If he gets under the free throw line, you're done. Okay, go. 1, 2, say switch. Okay, that's the best one we've had. Good work. One more. Now I'm gonna switch this up a little bit. Who's here? You have a ball? Dave? Now you don't have a ball. Play him straight, you don't have a ball now. Go! Okay, and now, like I said, keep going. Rotate, keep going. This is where I would put this on the technical side of our high volume transition day. Okay? This is our skill development. Keep going, guys. It's supposed to be unfair, Dave. It's supposed to be unfair. One more. Good, very good. All right, give these guys a hand. I have 2 minutes. And I just came up with this drill when Evan was doing his talk because Yurik decided to do finishing. Evan took my thunder with I can't remember what it was, the high five. So I came up with this one, okay? So today's a transition drill. Today's a transition day. Adam, you're dribbling the ball. Dave, you're guarding him. You're dribbling this way, slowly, yeah? AB, you are the help. You're a defender. Let's say you start here. Slow motion. I took this from Mike McKay from Canada Basketball. You're slowly dribbling. You guys are on the same team. Steal the ball. Steal the ball. Let him steal the ball. Now, steal it. Now, a good steal, you dribble it, would be over here, right? I'm trying to tip the ball towards that direction. So you need to turn and run. So now, I'm dribbling, you're dribbling towards me, and so you want me to steal the ball. Just keep it in your left hand. Just keep it in your, yep. And now, I steal, and now, Adam, the second I pick the ball up, you run. AB, you would be coming back and running. So it's like a one-on-one plus one. So you're on defense.
Okay.
So you start here. The second that you see him pick up that ball, you're running back. Okay? You're by yourself. You're by yourself. So you have the ball. You're on offense. Yep. And now you got the ball stolen. And now you have to finish in transition off a steal. Yes, correct. But the second he picks it up, then you can start running. So he has an advantage. Okay? Ready? Go. Oh, sorry. Let's make it. You want him to steal the ball. Go. Go, baby, go! Okay, good. And now, this is another way to start it, where it's more transition specific. You can tweak this so AB's a little bit closer. You can do it so that Dave can start running immediately. There's all sorts of things. Last one I'm gonna do. Okay, just like Adam did. So, Dave, let me just, since you're on offense. Yep. AB, you stay right there. Let's make this a one-on-one drill. So the second I throw this pass, steal it, I'm trying, Adam, come down, steal this pass, Dave. Tip, good. Now the second he touches the ball, you can go. So the ball's coming here, Adam, you're coming here. I'm gonna tip, now start running with me. And you run back, yes. Correct, yep. Okay? I know it's a little bit weird. I'll throw it. Ready? Back up a bit. Steal, go! Okay, let's do it again. It's okay. Don't, make sure he picks it up. Go, steal, go, play. Good, next, let's rotate 2 more times. I actually like this. Rotate. Let's say, Adam, you're now on offense. Dave, you're down here. AB, you're on primary ball hand. Yep, go. 3, 2, 1. Are you okay? All right, last one. AB, give him a little bit more time, so there's a slight advantage. So don't start running until he actually picks the ball up. Okay? Here we go. Yeah, you're on offense. Go. Good. Give these guys a hand. Sorry, I overran my time. My bad. So, from a 30,000-foot view, this is how we would plan a year, a month, a week of training, all the way down into a single practice. And depending on what you're working on, as you can see, the majority of our drills, I'm sorry I took so much time for the warm-up, but hopefully you can take some of those things to make the skill work more specific to the skills they're going to need into the game and to the phases that they're going to see them. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys.